Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hi. I hope everybody's doing well today. I bought this dress, but I don't know if I want to keep it. Oh my god, my hair is so long now that it sometimes dislodges and touches me, and I think somebody's touching me, but it's just me. It's me touching me. I'm actually an expert in that, in case you were wondering. Just so you know. Sashina's green and Vicky's red and Manuel is pink. What is John going to be? That we shall wait and see. The color for John is green. Oh no. Sorry, John, I tried to sing it in. I was trying. Anyways, you guys, we actually have a fucking beast of a case that we're going to be watching right now. And spoiler alert, Buddy doesn't want us watching. He tried multiple times to ask the judge to take it off of YouTube. And I said, no! But they couldn't hear me because I was home. They couldn't hear me. Hi, Courtney. Anyways, I'm hoping that YouTube Daddy does not take take offense at the video and its title or thumbnail, but we'll see. Anyways, it's gonna have to be a 2 or 3 part show because it's at least 3 hours of hearings that I recorded for this case today. So we're gonna get started. I have a hard stop at 5 o'clock in over an hour, just over an hour. So let's get in what we can. Yeah, probably take off the word drug day. Or I'll just put in an I changed it to an asterisk. And then maybe people will think it says dragged. Thanks for being here, Manuel. We're all hoping that your surgery goes well soon. Let's keep going. Also, reminder, this is our second show today. We had a morning show. It was actually pretty good. Yeah. Judge Baker took our morning video down, but she blessed us with Mr. Anthony Bunka. You will see or hear what we mean. Warning, I would say he gets very interested in the YouTube side of things, so I wouldn't doubt if he looked for this. Of course, he would have to look for what I titled it, which doesn't relate to him in any way. That's one of my ethical stances on having a YouTube channel. If you guys didn't know that already, I've explained this before when we had other cases that we did, but you'll never find a case from me with a defendant's name in it, or I mean, sometimes the city, but really just not their name. I just don't. these videos are for court lovers and court nerds. They are not for people to Google or look up their aunt or their uncle or their cousin in YouTube and then this be the first thing that pops up about them. That's not the reason I do it. And that's how I manage to sleep at night when I post all this shit that people seem to hate. Anyways, on that note, let's get going because we have to run through this. And like I said, I have a hard stop. Hard stop, baby. A hard stop. But this guy, you'll see what happens. He gets pretty upset at the beginning. Well, not upset. I mean, he's just a little off his rocker, I guess. But that's allegedly in my opinion. I'm positive I just pressed the button. Why is it taking so long? Oh, Jesus. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Bunker, do you have a question? You'll need to unmute.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you said this is streaming live on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason for that?
Yes, sir. It's called the Open Court Act.
Okay.
Hearings
Cool.
in the state of Texas, generally speaking, are public.
Okay.
Anybody can walk
I
into a
just thought,
courtroom and so when we have a virtual hearing, unless there's good cause to close the courtroom, then we do live stream.
okay, so even though it's in the matter of my son, that it's a public knowledge to everybody.
Even though I'm personally not crazy about it, but that's the law. And there are certain reasons why courtrooms can be closed. One of the attorneys would need to make a motion regarding that, which I don't know, then somebody may be intending to do that, but yes, sir, that's correct.
Well, I'd like to make the motion for this hearing to be closed. Ask my lawyer to do that, please.
Do you want to talk to your attorney about it? Because he may be
I
able to
mean,
tell you.
I'm talking to everybody about it, you know what I mean?
Well-
I don't know why this needs to be live streamed on YouTube, but let's go
Okay.
for it.
Okay,
But
here's,
I'd rather have it a closed hearing.
yeah, I understand that. I doubt that any of us would probably argue with you, but there is a law that most of these hearings are open to the public. So let me put you in what we call a breakout room. I'll let Mr. Hill talk to you about that because sometimes there are good reasons to close the courtroom and sometimes there really aren't. So let me have him discuss with you what reasons there might be.
Okay.
So you're going to get a prompt to go to room 2. And you
Okay.
can say join, and then I'm going to put him in there and the two of you can talk privately.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Your Honor, I'm told that Ms. Silvestre is in the waiting room now. I don't know if you can see her.
No, I don't have her.
I wonder if we have a wrong Zoom link.
Yeah.
Ms. Canada, would you reach out to her and make sure she has the good link? Thank you.
Easily of the past. Power through the video.
Adjudication versus genetic testing.
That I haven't, Judge.
You have to stick y'all back in there so you can
Yeah,
talk about that?
yeah, please, you might as well.
Okay. So, I'll tell you what, I don't know whether he knows how to move around. I'm gonna move y'all to room 3.
Anthony, we're gonna go back to a breakout room. It's gonna be 3 this time, okay?
Crystal has one shoulder. You guys, I like this dress. It has pockets. It's 1,000% see-through. I put a slip on underneath like an old lady. But it's basically 100% see-through, which is a problem because I don't wear underwear. Everybody see my hoo-ha. I mean, I don't care, but somebody might. I was gonna buy the tennis dress, Courtney, but then I had second thoughts and third thoughts and fourth thoughts. And then I found this one and it had pockets. And I thought, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I always go commando. Did we not know that? I thought that was common knowledge.
Does anyone have the link to the YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. I fucking do. I'm on it, baby. I was
I
watching this
can't hear you
live.
good.
The
We
link
were
to it is
laughing.
just the High Plains Child Protection Court YouTube channel.
He's about to give us a
I
shout
don't know
out.
what that
Not
is,
here
man.
exactly, but he's going to go and
I'm
check
telling you,
it.
that's the name of the YouTube channel.
Can you guys still see me when I back out this way?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm just finding the link, so I want to see the video.
Okay, you
Bro,
can't
you're
have
in
it
the video.
streaming while we're doing the hearing because you'll get all kinds of feedback. And
It's said,
there's a delay in
the
it.
High Plains what?
High Plains Child Protection Court.
He's about to call out how many watchers. I was one. Allegedly. He really won't like me because I recorded it. And now we're watching
Oh,
it
wow,
again.
there's 27 people watching.
Damn, the judge had better viewership than me. Ouch.
Oh, we got 32 viewers. We got 1 like.
Yeah, I tend not to like YouTube videos of courts. Just
All right, sir, but you're gonna have to keep the audio on it muted or it'll create feedback in this hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
No comments. I just had to mute me.
no comments, sir, because comments are turned off.
Okay, I still don't have those witnesses in the waiting room.
Judge, I've sent the link twice for the one today, so I'll see if I can find a phone number and just give them a call right quick.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, Ms. Grapple, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you've got another witness, you can go ahead and call. So, okay. And then, Ms. Canada, you certainly feel free to interrupt if you've got an update for us. Okay, then I'll call. Oh, I'm sorry, we took announcements. My apologies. So, Mr. Gruff, all right, we've got one of them coming in. Hang on. Miss
I just thought of something. Wouldn't it be funny if he tried to report it during the live stream, and that's why he wanted to go to the channel? I just thought about that. Like, I know that they don't get taken down like that immediately. Like, it's difficult. Somebody has to be infringing upon your content. We've had it, the black screen takedown before, live. So it can happen, but he certainly, maybe he was trying to do that. I bet he tried to. Like, report! This is talking about my kid! Report! Are you fucking kidding me, Lucy? How is that possible? Rose just told me the final number of viewers. That was high. I'm glad I was recording it. I left this recording and I left the house. And I had to go do some things. And then I came back. Wow. You remember what he said? There was 27 viewers. Then there was 32 viewers. One of those was me. One of those was Rose. One of them was him, ostensibly. But it ballooned. Holy moly. Can I get that many viewers? One day.
Vestry. Okay, I'll watch for the other one. All right, Miss Silvestri, can you unmute your device and let's make sure that we have a good connection with you?
Sorry, we're having a little difficulty over here.
Okay, we can hear you.
We're trying to, it's a new computer, so we're trying to get it where we need it to. See if it turns on the camera. Did it turn it on?
Okay, we'll go ahead.
it
You can keep
doesn't.
working on
My
it. We're gonna
dress
go
is
ahead and
lovely.
get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute your all's device for now.
Okay.
It's nice and cool and flowy.
Okay, Ms. Croft, you can call your first witness.
Judge, I'm sorry, before we start, Mr. Otero Bunker has asked me to make a motion that the courtroom be closed and is taken off of YouTube.
And Mr. Hill, what's the basis for it?
Because he doesn't think it's appropriate for this kind of material to be on YouTube. Not that it's sexually explicit but it's sensitive and involves his child, and he doesn't think it's appropriate.
Are we gonna get into any kind of HIPAA issues, health issues on the child? Ms. Croft, you're muted.
Sorry, Judge. Not that I'm aware of.
And Your Honor, I'm not aware of any specific issues regarding the child at this point.
Okay, then Mr. Hill, absent some, breach of the child's privacy or confidentiality under other laws, then I think I'm compelled to leave the courtroom open. If we start getting into any area where it might seem appropriate, you are certainly welcome to re-up your motion.
Thank you, Judge.
Or for that matter, anybody can, Ms. Vala could or anybody. Okay, all right, Mr. Groff, who's your first witness?
Brenda Silvestre, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Silvestri, you'll have to unmute.
Honestly, Rose, I have two things. It's weird for me to be in the dark like that. Remember, I usually wear my glasses that have no lenses in them because of the reflection. Anyways, but seriously, I'm gonna fix my hair too, but I think part of it was the case earlier today that got pulled off YouTube was shocking. This is like not even on the same wavelength. It's not a good case, but it's absolutely got nothing on this morning. And so I think that that worked against him. I also think his attitude worked against him. He should have spoken with his lawyer about that first. That if that lawyer had made that motion without being strong-armed by his client, it may have gone further. You and I know, because we watch court all the time, that the relationship between the lawyers and the judge is the backbone of the court and judicial system. It might not want to be, but it is. Also, there are no public defenders when it comes to CPS court. There are lawyers that are appointed by the court to represent somebody that may be indigent, but they're not by nature public defenders because they are not defending criminals. They are appointed by the judge on a rotation system generally. And so just to be clear, like it's just a totally different system. Then there's no public defenders within this system. But this lawyer is probably appointed by this judge. Advertisements suck. I know, Manuel. So does paying rent. I can't do one without the other. That's the tough part. That's the tough part. 'Cause yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I can't get the video to work.
It's okay if you'll raise your right hand for me.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mr. Bunker, you'll need to remain on video. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Croft, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Silvestre, who are you employed by?
Potter County Probation Office,
Okay, and how long have you been employed in this capacity?
over 3.5 years.
And what is your job title?
I'm a community supervision officer.
Okay, and do you have any special education or training for that position?
I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and 10 years of experience with the police department.
Okay. And do you have any particular specialty in your position as a community supervision specialist?
We are certified in training every year.
Okay. And are you familiar with Anthony Otero Butler?
Yes,
Or
I am.
Bunker, excuse me.
Yes.
And how so?
He is a probationer with our office.
Okay, and you're assigned to work with him then?
Yes.
Okay, and approximately when were you assigned?
He was actually not on my particular case though. I saw him as a duty officer.
Okay. And when did you first see him?
She said duty.
I will have to go into my records for that. I'm sorry.
Also, just wait and listen. Wait and listen and
It won't let
hear.
me.
But I did put meth in the thumbnail. Allegedly, YouTube Daddy. I meant to type math.
Sorry, I'm trying to get into my records.
It was math. I meant
That's
math.
fine.
I think I
Nah.
have it, Lily.
I'm sorry, sorry, YouTube Daddy.
It's not connected. No.
You know, I've
Let me see
allegedly.
if I can plug this in here. It's been a couple of weeks since I first saw him.
Okay, and I don't necessarily need an exact date. I'm just trying to get an idea of how long you've had contact with him.
It's been I would say about a month.
Okay, and how many times have you met with him during that period?
I've seen him once.
Okay, and can you tell us why he's on probation?
He's on for injury to a child,
Okay,
3rd-degree felony.
okay, and so when did you actually? So you said you met with him just one time. Was that in May?
Yes, on May the 5th. My computer been working finally.
All right, thank you. And what did you discuss at that meeting on May 5th?
Let me go to the records here. He did bring in we discussed his medications that he was on.
Okay.
Let's see. He did inform me that he had contacts with officers the prior weekend, because he said his mother was drunk and got angry with him for having a friend over. She had called the police to make them leave. Things kind of escalated between them. That's why he was upset. He did admit to using meth that weekend because of being upset with his mother.
Okay.
He said if Texas would just get on board with the program and legalize marijuana, he would.
That's false, Your Honor. I did not
Okay,
admit to
Miss-
using.
Mr. Burger, you can't just interrupt. There's a court reporter that takes things down. If your attorney thinks that the question is subject to a legal objection, he'll make that. But you can't just interrupt, okay? You understand? And you need
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
off camera. I'm not sure why you keep turning your camera off.
I don't know how to use this Zoom. It's been a while since I've used it, so.
Well, let me send you a prompt.
Thank you.
All right. All right, I'm not sure, Ms. Goodman, were you able to get all of that?
I believe so, Judge.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
All right, Mr. Groff.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you were saying he admitted to.
Hold on, I just need to have a throwback to this morning's hearing. If you didn't watch it, you need to go back. At one point, the judge misgendered somebody. And their reaction was so funny. And like a person came out from sort of like the background and was like, I think that's a mother. It was fucking hilarious. Again, a thing that I didn't know I had captured on my computer, but worth a look. This morning's live stream. That's right, we did 2 today because you guys hit a goal yesterday. Thank you again. We love that. YouTube Daddy especially. He's like really into this goal thing right now.
using meth. Is that right?
Well, he had first denied the use of meth and cocaine. We did a drug test and it came back positive for those two things. Then he
Okay.
admitted to buying some pills, as he called it, which he thought were Tylenol 3 or 4 pills. Said he took 5 or 6 of those pills at the same time and drank some alcohol with it. And said that the pills could have been laced with meth and cocaine. So he did admit that.
We're gonna have to stop for a second, and for any of you that may not know, I'll let you know, and on a little secret here, okay? Drug dealers, they don't give away drugs for free. They literally don't. Never. So when you buy Tylenol from somebody, what? And then they may have laced it with, who the fuck is sitting at their house crushing up some Tylenol, lacing it with fucking cocaine and meth, packaging it back up and passing it along to somebody else out of the goodness of their heart? I don't think so. That's not how drug dealing works. Okay? Drug dealers are scrupulous. They fucking pay attention. Now T4 is fine, but still, that he is Brooklyn. You're right. Oh my God, how did I not see it? He is the victim. If you're here, buddy, we're on your side. Not. Heard of Tylenol 3? Absolutely. There's Tylenol 3. I know what I think T3s, I think there's T4s. In Canada, you can buy Tylenol 2s over the counter, like Tylenol with codeine. Over the counter. I can walk into Walmart and go, "Can I get some Tylenol with codeine, please?" And they'll say, "Would you like 100 or 200?" And I'll say, "I would like 200." And they give it to me and it costs like $12. So
Part.
Okay.
Um,
Did you have an opportunity to discuss, well, let me strike that. And so, was he violated under the terms of his probation for that?
It is a violation, yes. We had him signed up to do a drug and alcohol evaluation to possibly be evaluated for other types of programs that we have.
Okay, and did he follow through with that?
No.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to discuss any mental health diagnoses or mental health services during your conversation with him?
Client reported he was with TPC in the past, but the medications made him feel like a zombie, so he stopped taking them.
Okay.
And he said he doesn't want to do TPC. I'm sorry, TPC stands for the Texas Panhandle Centers for the Mental Health Services. He said because the doctors just want to shove pills down his throat, and that's why he doesn't want to take them.
Okay. And was that concerning to you?
Yes, I did let him know that just because he gets on medication doesn't mean he has to stay on medication. I told him he probably needs to go back to the TPC services to speak with the case manager and the doctor about how the medications made him feel so that they could be adjusted and be used accordingly. That's a medical program that he and his doctor would have to come up with, but just to simply stop taking the medication was not a good thing.
Okay. And to your knowledge, has he done any of that follow-up?
I don't know. That's where his CSO, Coker would be involved, and she's here in my office also.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Okay. And did you have, so you only met with him the one time. You didn't have any subsequent conversations with him. Is that right?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Because that point was reassigned. Sorry.
Okay. Are you aware if Ms. Coker met with him following that conversation?
Yes, on
Okay.
several occasions.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, pass the witness.
All right then, Mr. Hill.
Questions for this witness, Judge?
Okay, Mrs. Ball.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, is this witness free to go on about her business? I know we're on one computer. We've got another witness right there.
Yeah, if Ms. Coker is going to use Ms. Silvestre's computer, that would be my request, but Ms. Silvestre is free as far as I'm concerned, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, then, Ms. Silvestri, you are free to go ahead and go on about your business as long as we can hand your computer off to Ms. Coker.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor, and here she goes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, then, is that your next witness, Mr. Groff?
Yes, Your Honor, please. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Coker, if you will, raise your right hand for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Coker, I should have asked Ms. Silvestri as well, but you are both officers of the court, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so even though we don't have video with you, you understand the oath you've just taken?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, okay. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Coker, for being here. Who are you employed by?
I am employed by Potter County Community Supervision and Corrections Department.
Okay, and you're a corrections officer then also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how long have you been employed in this capacity?
Well, I've been an officer for 33 years, but I've only been here since April.
Okay, and what type of education training do you have for this position?
I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I'm also certified by the state of Texas to be a community supervision officer.
Okay, and then you have, sounds like 3 decades of professional experience, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you have any particular specialties within that position, or is it just a generalized license?
Well, I've been a certified substance abuse felony punishment facility officer, but here I don't work in that capacity. I just have a regular caseload.
Okay, and then are you familiar with Mr. Anthony Otero Bunker?
Yes, sir, I am.
And how do you know him?
Well, I took over the supervision of his injury to a child supervision on May the 5th of 2025.
Okay, and was that do you know the circumstances of the underlying conviction? Did that involve his own son?
Yes, it did.
Okay, and how frequently have you met with Mr. Bunker since you were assigned?
I have seen him on May the 28th of 2025. And then I saw him on June the 2nd of 2025.
Okay,
I
and
spoke to him on the telephone yesterday.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And then during any of those conversations, did you have an opportunity to discuss drug test results with him?
Yes, when he came in on the 28th, we discussed the one that he had done with Officer Silvestri, where he basically told me the same thing, that he had purchased some pills, had taken them, and that they could have been laced with cocaine and methamphetamine. But he denied any use.
Did he have any other reasons that he gave during any of the conversations about why he might have tested positive?
When I tested him on May the 28th and he was positive for methamphetamine again, he told me that somebody could have possibly broken into his house and put it in his food.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, people break into your house, they put meth in your food. It's one of the main reasons you lock your door, right, Afix? I think is that America in a nutshell? What a story. What a fucking story. Hi, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Privacy is security. Well, Anthony has already begged to be taken off YouTube. He checked in on the chat. He was surprised when they had so many viewers, but so few likes. Can we get a lot of likes to impress Anthony when he finally comes by?
Be possible.
Did he on that occasion or any other occasion give you cause for concern about any possible mental health issues?
Well, he appears, I mean, I'm not a mental health professional, but there has been history in the past where he received services for mental health issues, and he had told me that he wasn't at the time taking any of his medications.
Did you observe any behaviors that were concerning when you met with him in person or when you spoke with him by phone?
When he was in my office, I have this Scentsy kind of a thing from Bath and Body, and he pulled it out of the wall and was smelling of it and then just threw it down in the floor. So
Okay.
I found that to be strange and maybe concerning.
And is that a plug-in air freshener type
Yes.
device? Okay. Did you happen to talk with him about it?
No, I didn't really say much to him about that.
Okay. Ms. Silvestri talked about a referral for an updated substance abuse assessment. Do you know if he's done any follow-up or for either substance abuse or mental health evaluations?
When he was in my office on the 28th, he had already previously been scheduled, and he had rescheduled that appointment for June the 2nd. He did meet with our substance abuse counselor on June the 2nd, Angela Anderson.
Okay, and are you aware if any recommendations were made from that?
Yes, she recommended.
Hold on, we got to talk about it. Angel, okay, first of all, thank you, Rose. He threw her air freshener on the floor? That sounds like something my mother would do. Oh my god, I need to move over. I'm out of my box. I hate that. Did he disappear? Maybe I should just go back to being... Okay, seriously though, who throws their air freshener on the floor? That literally sounds like something my mother would do. Like a total like hippie. Like, no. Not Febreze. Not a good scent. That's the least of your concerns, bro. Can you imagine going in your PO's office, your probation officer's office, and then being pissed off and throwing their air freshener? Is that crazy? Casey Carey, is that crazy? That seems crazy to me. There's almost no situation within which it's acceptable to go and throw somebody's air freshener.
That he attend a intensive outpatient program and that he follow up with mental health treatment.
And are you aware if he's done so?
After being referred on, we did all the paperwork when he was in my office on June the 2nd. The man from Centacor, I believe his name is Seth, called me on the 3rd, told me that he couldn't do anything without Mr. Bunker's insurance information. He had been trying to text him and call him and to no avail. And then finally on June the 9th, the man from Centacor told me that he had completely stopped responding to him. He finally did do his assessment last week on the 20th. He did it over I don't know if it was over the phone or via Zoom, but he did actually attend the Centacor intake or admission process.
Okay, so it sounds like he's beginning that process, but at this point in time, we're not aware if he's actually, if he started it. Would that be a fair statement?
I'm not sure if he started it or not at this.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Pass the witness.
Mr. Hill?
The question, yeah, I do have a question. Ma'am, could you clarify on 6/2, you said that Mr. Otero Bunker completed something regarding Centacor? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What?
Yes, he completed the drug and alcohol assessment with our drug and alcohol counselor here on staff.
Okay. And what was the result of that?
Our counselor recommended that he attend and complete a intensive outpatient program and that he go back and for services for mental health treatment.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll pass to the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Balla?
Ma'am, during any of your sessions with Mr. Otero Bunker, did you ever discuss his son Isaiah?
On his first appointment, I believe on the 28th, that was where he had told me that he had placed him with a friend of his or a lady that he knew. And I asked him why he chose to do that, and he said that he figured that CPS would be called, so he was gonna place him elsewhere to, I guess, prevent any issues.
Did he discuss with you at all, Isaiah kind of coming and going from that place, several times?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Mr. Groff?
Nothing further from these witnesses, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hill, any further questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then. Any objection to Ms. Coker being released?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Objection.
All right, Ms. Coker, thank you for your time today. You're free to go on about your day's activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hello, Miss Erica. Afix, don't worry. Vicky
All right,
is.
Mr. Groff, who's the next witness?
Thank
You
you, Your
can
Honor.
only
I
give
call
points, she doesn't
Olga
go top of
Ellis.
it.
Okay, Ms. Ellis, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Yeah, you can. I need a new mic. My mic right now is holding on to Felicia and my hat. So I'm not using the good mic because it always cuts out. So obviously what I should do is use the good mic, the proper settings, and put Felicia on a different stand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ellis, are you the assigned social worker for the case involving Isaiah Gonzalez and his father, Anthony Otero Bunker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when were you assigned to this case?
I received the case. The deck was received on May 5th, but I received the case to my workload on May 7th.
May 7th, okay. And how did the department happen to become involved, this family?
The case was received with allegations about neglectful supervision and stating that Mr. Otero was tested positive with alcohol, methamphetamine. I apologize, my English, sometimes I struggle. Methamphetamine and cocaine.
You're doing fine, thank you. And so then did you, after you were assigned on May 7th, did you investigate the case?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what did your investigation entail?
Okay, I went to see the child, Isaiah, at school, same day, and I talked to him, and then I tried to get a hold of Mr. Anthony Otero Bunker at his house. I called him several times, total of 5 times on that day. I was able to get a hold of him over the phone, and we discussed to see each other the next morning on May 8th. And I went and saw him. I was able to talk to him. Then later on, I tried to meet with him and with a friend of his who was taking care of Isaiah on that day. She went and picked up the child to school and took Isaiah with her. So, but we needed to have a meeting as with Mr. Otero Bunker and his friend, and we needed to do it on that day to come up with a safety plan. Excuse me. And she agreed with taking care of Isaiah, but the meeting never, we were not able to meet because Mr. Otero Bunker kept postponing and not being able to accomplish the meeting.
Okay, so you weren't actually ever able to work out a safety plan?
No, sir.
Okay. And what did you learn during your investigation about Isaiah and his father?
Okay. When I was talking to the child, I mean, he was very calm. I didn't get a lot of concerns from his, during the interview with him. He's a good boy. He didn't make any outcries. Then on the 8th, I talked to Mr. Otero and I addressed the allegations, and he admitted on taking some pills. He says that he misplaced his Tylenol prescribed medication for pain, and he asked a friend for help to get some medications. So he says that he took from 5 to 6 pills that he purchased with a friend of his friend, and he took those pills together with twisted tea. And after that, he said that he felt so bad because he was not able to sleep for 2 days. So he admitted on taking those medications.
Sorry about that distraction.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what your last statement was.
He admitted on taking them from 5 to 6 pills with a twisted tea
Okay,
drink
and then you said he said he expressed that he felt bad about it afterwards because why?
because he was not able to sleep for 2 days.
I see. Okay, thank you. And were you able to well, let me for the record, how old is Isaiah?
8 years old.
Okay. And his mother is where his mother alive or is she deceased?
She's deceased.
Oh,
She died on 2016, I believe.
okay. Um, is there any other children?
They're not, they didn't have a stroke. I just caught up. Now we'll go to regular speed. That's very sad that his mother died in 2016. But what a shite hand this kid has been dealt. Terrible. We got about a half an hour left that we'll watch, and then we're gonna follow up tomorrow. I told you this hearing goes for like 3 whole hours.
Or is it just Isaiah?
3.
He mentioned that he had a 16-year-old daughter, but he didn't know. He didn't have communications with her.
Okay. And does the family have any CPS history?
Yes. Yes, sir. They are, the department has been involved several
Morning.
occasions. Some, just a minute, please. 2021, Mr. Otero is when he hit his son. And then on 2016, that was with the mother. So during On July the 22nd, we received another intake. On March 2023, the department received another case on for same allegations, neglectful supervision. And then in September of 2023, the department received another case on with same allegations about drug abuse and alcohol involved. In January of 2024, we received another case. During this case, but the case was transferred to services. That during that time, the friend of Mr. Otero Banker was taking care of Isaiah, and that was closed until late on 2024.
Okay, so it sounds like there's been a lot of involvement and substance abuse has been kind of a recurring pattern. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and where is Mr. Otero Bunker living now?
He is living with his mother. The address is 1212 South.
No, ma'am.
It's fine if he's
Yes,
living
sir. With his mother.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about that living situation?
Oh, yes, sir. I have some concerns. First of all, about Mr. Otero, tested, admitted using the medication, the drugs, and the fact that he's refusing to get tested again. The house, the mother and of Mr. Otero Bunker expressed some concerns about being afraid of him. And because they have some arguments, I received some call outs for in the house several times. And so, I mean, it is very concerning seeing that same pattern of behaviors happen in the household. The mom was asking me for help to get to housing in another place, and I was not able to provide help during that time. So besides that, what the other concern is about the house conditions. I have been told that there are some concerns of bed bugs. And I don't know if I'm not sure if Mr. Otero is working at this moment. So there are several aspects of, concerning situations that I don't feel comfortable with him, take good care of Isaiah.
Thank you for that detailed answer. When do you understand to be the most recent call out to law enforcement?
It was just a minute. No, just I don't know what happened to my.
Happens to the best of us, ma'am. I get it. I'm gonna have a
Okay.
drink.
The latest was on June the 12th of this year at 11:34.
In the evening?
Yeah. Honestly, that was in the morning.
Okay.
It looks like. And 2 on April and 1 on May the 2nd.
So in light of that volatile relationship, do you have concerns about the grandmother's ability to be a protective safety factor if the child was placed back in the home at this time?
Yes, sir. But she just started taking medications for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. And that was a good thing. But I feel like she needs some more treatment for her
Objection,
knee.
Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. This witness has not been shown to have any qualifications regarding issuing some kind of an opinion on what kind of mental health treatment someone needs or doesn't need.
I'll sustain the objection. Mr. Terabunker, I sent a chat, but you need to turn your video on and leave it on.
I'm sorry, Judge. I was getting a drink. Leave me alone.
Okay, Ms. Ellis. So without stating an opinion as to what type of treatment is recommended, it sounds like you do feel like
Seroquel, like quetiapine? QUE, TIPINE. It can be pretty serious because the dosages that they use for people with bipolar are like 800 milligrams. But did you know that if you take like 25 milligrams of Seroquel, you'll sleep like a baby? And nothing will bother you.
some further work is needed by the grandmother to assess and make sure that her mental health is solid. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then was there, do you have any concerns about substance abuse by the grandmother?
Yes. She admitted that she was getting treated for alcohol use, and she mentioned that on like the weekend before, when I get the case, she have to leave the house because she was having fights with Mr. Otero Bunker, and she says that she went and had some drinks. So she was trying to get better.
Okay. And then as far as Isaiah is concerned, you said he didn't make any outcries. You've described the living situation and your concerns about that and bed bugs. Anything else about Isaiah that is concerning to you?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
And let's see. So you said you weren't able to do a safety plan, but the child had been informally placed with Mr. Bunker's friend. Did that change at some point?
Well, Mr. Otero, the day when I met with him, that was on the 8th. He mentioned that Isaiah slept that night in the house with him. He called that friend, Brittany, to go and pick him up and take Isaiah with her. And that night, we were supposed to meet.
Oh my god, Brittany? Does everybody have a friend named Brittany? Do I have a friend named Brittany? I feel like you need a Brittany in your back pocket. There are different kinds of Britneys. It depends on the spelling, but I believe that most of us should probably know a Brittany. And not just her ladyship Britney Spears, the queen that she is.
At her house to do an evaluation. So he was with her until we received the order to move him under the department.
Did she express reservations about being a long-term placement?
Can you repeat that question,
Yeah,
please?
yes. Was she willing to be a long-term placement, or was she just doing it as a short-term as a favor to her friend?
She mentioned several times to me that she wanted to keep Isaiah with her. She mentioned that She wanted something more extent. She didn't want, she says that she was tired of seeing the department giving him some options about getting better. And then again, the child was going back to his house. And she said, I wish if I can keep him for longer period of time.
She didn't, okay.
Yes, sir.
She didn't want to do a PCSP then. Her interest would be something more legally long-term, it sounds like.
Something like that. She
Okay.
was.
PCSP, is that a private conservatorship? I don't know what it is. PCSP, what are the...
Yeah.
Okay. And at any time during your work up to filing the petition, did Mr. Otero Bunker, was he responsive or dismissive of your concerns?
I tried to get a hold of Mr. Otero several times. I mean, via text, trying to call him. She was one an occasion I went with my coworker, one of my coworkers, and he closed the door about us. So he was not willing to participate. When I went to give him the notice of removal, he let us sit in the house, and he told me that he was going to get an attorney. That was the only time.
Erica, I gotta tell you. Oh, you're talking about your divorce. God, now I feel like an idiot. I was gonna be like, actually, I've got great news for you, Erica. This lady died. But yet, no, we're talking about your divorce, which still sucks. We're here for you for that. And I misunderstood. What's fucking new? Moving on. I'm so glad that's immortalized.
Time he opened the door to us, but he denied to sign any paperwork to me. He kept everything. He didn't want to work with me.
Okay. So that last visit with the friend, was that about the time when she indicated she wasn't willing to do a PCSP? Is that when the decision to file the petition was made?
Yes, that's when that was concerning, because she texted me as well, saying that he was trying to make arrangements, telling her to work directly with her, not getting involved that department.
Okay. And so you filed the petition on May 27th?
That's when I received it, yes.
Okay. And have the concerns that you identified at this point in time regarding Mr. Bunker's substance use and behavior and the other concerns identified in the affidavit, have they been mitigated or alleviated at this point in time?
Honestly, I don't think that something is changing with his cooperation.
Okay, so you still, the same concerns you had at the time you filed, you have today, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you believe there's a danger to Isaiah's physical health and safety as a result of an act or failure to act by the father?
Yes, sir.
And why is that?
Because the pattern of his behavior. I was reading in the case when he admitted hitting Isaiah. He says that he was so drunk that he blocked his sense, and he was not able to think what he was doing. and that could happen. And I strongly have a concern about in the future if she doesn't, get help.
Okay. And what reasonable efforts have you made to prevent removal?
I try to have a safety plan put in place. Then we try to do the uh, parental child safety placement in place, and he didn't.
Well, thank fuck she's listening. I thought I asked what a PCSP was, and finally she says a parent-child safety plan, a PCSP. It's also a Paisley-Cox safety plan. You want to put one of those in place if you ever meet me. I'm kidding. Very nice.
And agree to meet with me and his friend.
Okay. Is it contrary to Isaiah's welfare to remain in his father's care at this time?
Can you repeat the question? I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Sure. Is it contrary to Isaiah's welfare for him to remain in his father's care at this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it for the same reasons you previously testified to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did the urgent need for protection require immediate removal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you been able to make any efforts to return Isaiah between the time of removal and today's hearing?
No, sir.
Okay. And why not?
Because he is right now in a safe place, and his basic needs are met.
And is it also because the father has refused to work with you to mitigate?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And is there a substantial danger to Isaiah if he's allowed to return home today
Yes, sir.
for the reasons identified?
Yes, sir.
Where is Isaiah currently placed?
Is and sorry, under San Francis agency, and I'm so very sorry. My mind went blank. It's in the child place.
Okay. And do you have any concerns about that current placement?
No, sir.
Okay. Does Isaiah or his placement need any additional supports at this time?
Not that I'm been told
Okay.
different.
Is it in Isaiah's best interest for the department to be named temporary managing conservator at this time?
Sorry. Can you please repeat that
Sure.
question?
Is it in Isaiah's best interest for the state to be named his temporary managing conservator at this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that again for the reasons previously testified to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are no pending criminal charges that we're aware of, are there?
Not that I know.
Okay. And then has either the father or the grandmother or any family member who might have knowledge been asked to complete an Indian Child Welfare Act questionnaire?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there any reason to believe that Isaiah is either a member or eligible for membership in a Native American tribe for the purposes of Indian Child Welfare Act?
Not that I know. I asked and it was denied.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. Ask the witness.
Well, hold on. That's what he just asked. ICWA, Indian Child Welfare Act. I feel inappropriate saying that. As a Canadian, where we say First Nations, I saw one case where that actually got brought up. I saw one case where it did indeed get brought up, and that was quite interesting. Anyways, okay, let's go ahead. We've got 15 minutes left before I have to get working on my Crunchwrap Supremes. That's right, I'm making Crunchwrap Supremes at my house with supreme quality ingredients and love.
Okay, before we pass the witness, Mr. Otero Bunker, I've asked you several times.
Yeah, fair enough, Afix. A good momentary recap. This is actually a CPS case. Dad has dropped off the screen, even though he's been asked probably 6 times to stay on the screen. But he is smitten with the YouTube live stream, and so he's in and out. He's in and out. But this case is only about Dad because Mom died. Ah, tragic. But she died like 10 years ago, so it's okay. This is like their 4th CPS case, and Dad is already on probation for injury to a child, and yet is quite concerned with the YouTube chat, not so concerned with the kid, if you catch my drift. This is part 1. We're gonna have to watch it in 2 or 3 different settings because it goes on for a long time. Like I said, we have about 15 minutes left for today, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow.
You need to have your video on throughout the duration of this hearing.
There's Dad
Okay,
with the glasses.
leave it on. All right, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, you stated, I believe, that Mr. Otero placed the child with a friend of his at some point. Is that right?
What he did was he called his friend to pick up Isaiah that day and take him with her at her house. And we were going to meet at her house that day.
Okay. And the friend is named Brittany, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Otero apparently felt the child would be safe and well taken care of
Brittany.
by sending him to stay with Brittany. Would you agree?
He did make that decision to do it because he told me that she used to take care for Isaiah. Sometimes she was picking him up from school and things like that. Yes.
Okay, so Isaiah was familiar with her and had stayed with her previously, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any reason to believe that Brittany is not a safe place for Isaiah?
When the child was removed, my coworkers, 2 of them, went to pick him up at her house, and they perceived a strong odor of marijuana. So one of them asked her about.
So be forewarned, if you come to my house, you will also smell a strong odor of marijuana. Marijuana. I love it how she says it. Olga, say it again. Marijuana. You will find that at my house. It's legal in Canada. And I love it. Marijuana. Marijuana.
If she was using marijuana, and she says that if she was willing to take a drug test, and she commented that probably she was going to test positive. So that was the concern about leaving him there.
Marijuana.
Okay.
It is the
Do you have any
bill.
idea if the child well, let me start that over. It's ignore that, please. So regarding Mr. Otero Bunker stating that he had taken some pills that he got from a friend, he told you that on May 8th, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of whether or not there was anyone in the house with him, that being his mother, during that time period?
he didn't mention that there was somebody there while because his mother was at the pavilion, I believe so.
When was his
So,
mother at the pavilion? Do you know?
uh, being honest, I'm not sure. But the mother was
Oh my god, Mac, do you realize that I would actually be so happy if I got to go to North Korea? Although the pep talk we would have to have with myself ahead of time, but still. I watched so many North Korea documentaries, it's so weird. Where did she want to go though? You want to go to the Grey Cup?
not at home during that time. And Mr. Otero says that he was, the child was with him. I asked Brittany if for any chance he stayed with her during the, particular time. And she said, no, he was not with me.
I'm sorry, what particular time? The time when your
When
grandmother was in the pavilion, or the time when Mr.
within that,
Otero Bunker had taken the pills?
while the Mr. Otero was taking the pills.
And do you know when that time was? I know you said the admission was on May 8th, but do you know when that was that he took the pills?
Let me check my notes, please.
Hold on, it's Winnipeg, which is WINNEPEG. But Winnipeg, what time of year? I'm not in Nova Scotia. Try the opposite end of the country. We know where I live. I live on Vancouver Island. Humble fucking brag. It's totally different, bruh. No, I'm just kidding. But Winnipeg is literally in the middle of nowhere, but it's also very cold there. Be careful, baby. I've only traveled above Winnipeg, never ventured there. I don't know that I could. I feel like I'm actually a Florida girl at heart. Like, I mean, I'm an immigrant to Canada anyways, so, I'm more of an ocean girl than anything else. I love to be near the ocean. Of course I can ice skate. And yes, I can sail. I actually can sail. I went to sailing camp and my boyfriend had a sailboat when I was in high school. Humble brag, again. But yeah, absolutely, I know how to sail and I know how to ice skate. Tacking is going back and forth so that you catch the wind and move in a zigzag pattern, and you do it by changing the rigging on the ropes on the boat. I went to this sailing camp where they had like a lagoon. They had a lagoon. Oh, shut up, Anthony. Lower your hand. Anyways, they had a
Mr. Otero
lagoon.
Bunker, yes, sir. While
Judge,
she's
no, before he speaks. Anyways, so basically on the property we had it just works, Afix. You just have to do it. You just trust the wind. The ocean is in charge. That's what you learn. But when we took sailboats oftentimes, I don't know what it means. I literally think you switch so that the wind catches your sail. And then once you've moved far enough forward, you flip it again, and then the wind catches your sail again, and you zigzag forward. And it's not the most direct path. And ideally, I think that you would have it where you're catching a straight wind, but in a worst case scenario, I believe you tack back and forth. Yeah. You know what else you have for that? A motor. Oh, shit.
Looking. You have a question?
Okay, sorry about that. Can we break for recess so I can use the restroom, or, we've been sitting here over an hour.
That's fine. We can take a restroom break. So
Okay.
give everybody, 5-10 minutes, something like.
Actually, Judge, how about we go for like maybe 12 hours till tomorrow morning? I think we'll go with tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Just absolutely fucking my morning. No, I'm just joking. It's going to be a blast. Tune in tomorrow morning when we get to hear the rest of this. If we start at 9 tomorrow, we can do the rest of it tomorrow. We will finish it all tomorrow. But tonight, I gotta go. I gotta go cook. I gotta go look pretty in my dress. I gotta go, be me. Do me, baby. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. 9 a.m. my time, yeah. 9 a.m. your guys' time on the East Coast is 6 a.m. my time. Please, let me sleep till 7. I know I miss a lot of court because of that. Anyways, yeah, it'll be 9 a.m. my time. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. I know it's very hot where a lot of you are right now, and that means that you need to be safe. You need to be smart. You need to be aware of the weather around you. Don't be a diva. Drink a lot of water. Do all the things that they say you should do. Take advantage of the American privilege of air conditioning and get the fuck in there. Seriously. Be safe, you guys. It's a joke, but it's also not a joke. So I love each and every one of you. You all mean so much to me. And I would love it if you would do me a favor. Go ahead and remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.